Hey, sorry I'm late getting this to you. Uh, you're going to start with a couple stretches, and you'll do this 3 days a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The first one is a plantar stretch, like a plantar fasciitis stretch before you get started. So, what you're going to do is kind of knees together. They don't have to be touching or anything like that, they can kind of be under your hips. Your toes will be a bit bent like that, and you're just going to sit down on your ankles and just breathe and focus only on breathing. Don't try to like press down or force anything. But the more you breathe, the more this plantar across the bottom of the foot is going to open up and stretch. And you'll do that for 2 minutes. Just strictly breathing, focusing on breathing, kind of ease down into it. You don't have to have super good posture. I mean, it helps always to have good posture, but you're not really focusing on anything other than breathing. And this, you begin to feel that pretty soon. So after 2 full minutes, you get you a block. I don't have a yoga block or anything like that, so I use a pillow, just something to elevate your feet, and you'll basically do the same thing, but this is called a tib stretch or a tibialis stretch. We're going to do a lot of stuff with the tibialis, so that's this muscle here that runs perpendicular to the, or opposite the calf. So you're basically going to do the same thing, but with them raised, and your ankle is going to be a little more extended, and you'll feel the pull right here. Again, if you can get a harder surface than a pillow, that's definitely better, because this kind of ends up squishing too much. Anyway, you can feel, I can already feel it right here a little bit. You'll hold that for 2 minutes, and again, you're just breathing. And as you breathe, it's getting tighter, and you'll feel it. But at the same time, it's each breath is kind of learning to give a little bit. So those are your first two stretches. 2 minutes on each. 2 minutes for plantar stretch, 2 minutes for tibialis stretch. Then the next thing is super easy. You're going to walk backwards for 10 minutes. And I'm going to have to pick this up and walk around with it so you can kind of see. Of those 10 minutes, you're going to start out with 3 minutes, just basically where your feet are going past each other. And you want to go at a decently fast rate. Do that for the first 3 minutes. Then you widen it, almost a normal step. And you can go at a much faster pace than I'm going. I'm just in our living room. And then the bulk of the time, the last 4 minutes, get some pretty big steps in there. You don't have to super exaggerate it, but what you're doing is your knee to come over your toe. And as you do that, you're building up all the tendons around here, and it's starting to get some support and some strength around your knees. The tendons and ligaments are being built up instead of muscle. So it takes a lot longer to do this, but 10 minutes a day, every day, is just a good practice. As soon as you finish that, come over to a wall, somewhere you can lean your butt up against, and you're going to put your hands on your hips or on your thighs and kind of lean forward, but let your butt be against the wall, and you'll do tibialis raises. So I'll let you see a side angle. And the way you can regress this, you'll do 25 of these after 10 minutes of walking. And it's good to do these barefoot because the heels on your shoes will mess you up. But the way you regress this, if this is too hard, bring it here. The goal is the most pain-free level is where you do it. And you're not using any of your body to do this. You just point your toes straight up. 25 of those. Turn around immediately. lean against the wall with your hands. And a lot of times I use like my fists like this because I can end up like pulling myself up for these. But you're just gonna follow those tib raises with calf raises. So we're working the opposite side. And again, you adjust the hardness, you scale it by getting closer. And if you're about to burn out, don't hit burnout. Just go closer. 25. All the way up. Eventually you will work out to here. The more you do these, and you'll really feel that calf stretch. I mean, you'll feel it here at first, especially at 25. Turn back around. Do 25 more tibialis raises. So you got your 2 stretches. You got your plantar stretch. You got your tibialis stretch, getting you prepared for all this tibialis work. Walk backwards 10 minutes. Progress your steps, kind of the distance. Keep it at a good tempo, a pretty high tempo. Come straight to a wall or some surface. You can do tibialis raises 25. While it's still burning, turn around and stretch out those calves and do calf raises 25. Turn back around, 25 more tibialis raises. And then you're going to do elephant walks. Gonna loosen up your hamstrings. And basically, this is the standard for 1 repetition. Palms flat in front of your toes. And then you're going to kind of look in, straight back like this. Okay. That's the ultimate goal. Completely stretched out. Palms flat. As you can see, it's a struggle for me. And I've been working at this for a long time. But it's getting your hamstrings super, super stretched, super tight. It's actually lengthening them and causing them to grow over time. So, to scale that, we do elephant walks. You can set a timer or you can count to 30. I think the best thing to do is set a timer. But you start right here. Both knees bent, and you bring one back, hold it for about 2 or 3 seconds apiece. I didn't hold that one quite long enough. And you can kind of see my palms are coming up, cheating a little bit. So that's an elephant walk. But what you may have to do is start out with some sort of cushion. Even a center block, it can be up here. But you're going to feel a stretch wherever that is for you. Do 30 of those per leg. Or you can set a timer for 60 seconds. These are going to be super, super hard at first. You don't want to just hang in the air though and do that. You want some sort of surface to be able to really get a stretch in that area. You want to be able to have a surface to lean against to really get that. And then you're going to do a hanging stretch. So spread, you don't have to go super, super wide, but you just cross your arms and hang your head down. You're going to do this for 2 minutes. So you got another stretch, and then we'll do a knees over toes calf raise. And you can just pause the video in between each one of these. Okay, so you come back over here like you did your other calf raises, wherever that comfortable pain-free level is. You want to feel a burn from a stretch, or or like a pump, but you don't want to feel any pain. Whatever pain you regress. And if you can't think of a way to scale it or make it easier, let me know and I'll give you some suggestions. But this is what you're going to do is going to bend your knees over your toes, and then you're going to do that same calf stretch. And eventually we'll work up to where we're doing one on each leg. Okay, so you start here. I'm going to get further away from the wall because I got super long arms. I have my knees just slightly over my toes. If you're right here or right here without pain, that's fine. But do 25 of these. And see, my knees tracking over my toes this whole time. I'm not like pulling myself up on the wall. I'm just rocking up like you're playing heels down, kind of, but much more extreme. You'll actually be ahead of the game in all this because you have used your tibialis by playing heels down. Most people have never touched it at all, and yet it's the most used muscle in your legs. That and the soleus, which we're working right now too. So 25 of those, and then